Hey, what's good YouTube? Target here and welcome to another episode of Design and Manage, my city Skylines and Modded Let's Play series. And this is it, episode number 60. So today I think I'm gonna do something special for you guys. In the last episode we have completely finished zoning the existing road layout, we finished up with the suburbs. And today I think it's the perfect time for us to expand the layout of the city. So without further ado, let me explain you what I have in mind for today. Okay, so this is the area that we are going to work on this episode. We have this entire piece of land that we can use to develop our city. And I already have a very rough idea of what I want. First and foremost, I want to connect this highway to this piece of highway over here. And I also want to make an interchange right along the middle that will connect to the city. So that's pretty much the most important thing that we must do on this new road layout that I'm about to build. Regarding urban planning, I still haven't thought much about it, but I already know that I will want a university probably around the middle of the layout, right next to the railroad. And I'll probably continue the layout that we have of offices and also some leisure all the way throughout the coast. And I also might add a few blocks of high-tech housing along the riverside. I think that's a perfect location to have some expensive housing. And I might just continue the suburbs throughout the northern part of the layout. But I might do something to break up the grid a little bit, because following this rectangular shape all the way throughout the end of the map might become a bit boring. But I'll do my best. I'll do my best to see what I can come up with. But anyway guys, this is going to take me a long time to build. I am going to turn everything into a time-lapse. I hope you guys enjoy. It's been a very long time since we've had a proper time-lapse in this series. So I hope you guys enjoy it. See you soon. Okay guys, so I've just finished building the main infrastructure of the new layout, which is mainly composed of the highways and also of the arterials, which are of course the avenues. I think we're off to a very good start, to a very good layout, so let me just explain you what was my thought process behind building this. Okay, so as I've mentioned, the first thing that I've done was connect this highway to the already existing highway and provide another way for people to cross. And as you can see, a lot of people are using this highway already to go to the other part of the map. And yeah, we are having a massive death wave at the time, but that's fine. I'm keeping my cemeteries full because I want to unlock... Oh, I've already unlocked. Here it is, the Plaza of the Dead. I needed to have 3 cemeteries and I've already accomplished that. So now I can just empty these things and everything will go back to normal pretty quick. Besides this highway connection, I've also provided a few off points to get into the city, such as this one, for example. This is one of the ways that people now have to hop into the suburban layout, and people can actually go through this avenue and join with the main arteries of the city that connect to the entire layout of the city, so to say. So yeah, and I really like how this has turned out. It even has this road to allow for a U-turn for cars that come from this side. So the way this works is pretty simple. People can just hop out over here on this off-ramp and go to the avenue, and they can also hop out from this part of the highway that will connect through this tunnel to the off-ramp that I had already explained to you. Likewise, in a very symmetrical way, people can get out of the layout by hopping through this road and go either to the right side and go to this side of town, or hop into this one, go straight ahead and hop in this highway and come south. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this interchange. Now this one is a bit more complicated and it also works a bit differently. My thought process behind this interchange was pretty simple. I wanted to avoid as much people from using this avenue as possible. And the reason for that is that this avenue is actually the avenue that connects to this highway connection over here with this roundabout. And as you can see, it has already a huge amount of traffic, and I wanted to avoid to complicate these things a bit more. And for that, this highway should not this highway, but this avenue should only be used to get out of the city and not to get into the city. And that's why when you go over here, you got this one-way avenue. The avenue turns into a one-way avenue, and citizens then have the option to turn right and get out of the city via this this on-ramp, and also this one that goes through a tunnel and connects to this side, and they can go to either side from here. This thing is a one-way avenue, but I can totally make a road over here that will further connect to the future layout that we'll create in the future. So that's how people get out of the city in this junction. But this highway also serves as a point to get into the city, but it only brings citizens to the left side of the city. And for that, people can get out of the highway from here. They go around this loop that kind of resembles a trumpet interchange, and they connect over here, and they will then have the option to go straight ahead or to come down to this new downtown area that I'm yet to develop. And they can also come down over here through this off-ramp if they're coming from this side. Now, before I want to advance further in this layout, as I've said, people are inhibited from using this avenue to get into the city, but I want to test things out. As you can see, we don't have a lot of traffic yet in this junction, and I want to see what happens if I create a off-ramp that connects people from this highway. People are coming from this part of town to this avenue over here. So let's just make a quick connection. If this doesn't work and turns out chaotic, I'm just going to delete it in the future. But for now, let's just provide a junction over here and see what happens. Let's see if this area turns out chaotic. And yes, I understand that I've only provided a way for people to get into the avenue if they are coming through this road, that is this off-ramp over here, but they have no way of getting into this part of the highway, into this part of the avenue if they're coming through here. And that's totally normal, because if they want to get into the city, they have a chance to do so early on, which is this interchange over here that connects to this road. So hopefully that explains this thing. Hopefully I was able to explain how this new layout works without causing too much confusion. If I did not, don't worry, just ask your questions in the comment section of the video and I will be happy to answer them. While we'll let these things adjust, I can just explain you the other part of the layout. So, as you have probably seen, I've connected this avenue to this arterial over here via a bridge that I think turned out quite well. And this avenue also keeps going forward and connects to this one and also to this one that we have built a long time ago, almost a year ago. For that, I even had to delete the tram tracks that were over here and I had to place them over here to continue the tram layout, so that the tram tracks don't end in a dead end. Now that I've explained to you how the layout works, perhaps we can start working on the layout. I am not gonna do all of it in this episode because I wanna leave that to another episode, but we can already start continuing the suburban district, which is this one. And I've already had a set of guidelines that you saw me place during the time-lapse, and these were only used for measurement tools. But now I can perhaps finish this entire square of the layout, and for that I am gonna continue this road. Okay, and I think I will also wanna continue with the layout over here and take out this connection, because the only way people can connect to this layout will be through this intersection. And they can now connect over here. Pretty cool. And all of this will be a connection. I can even try and make things interesting by connecting over here and deleting this and create a diagonal road. I think it will look interesting, even though I'm not gonna zone anything in this part of the highway because it's too close to the interchange. And I can also make, or try to make, a smooth curve. I said try, but this is actually a very simple curve to do. There you go. I can also go ahead and upgrade all of these to normal roads. There you go. Perfect. And now we can continue the northern part, which will basically connect very easily to here. And we can even finish up the road over here, why not? So let's do that and let's rebuild the pathway that I have destroyed. And there you go. There we go, perfect. We now have the northern part of the layout. And you know what, I think I'm going to connect it with this one. I'm going to provide a way for people to hop from one part of the layout to the other one, to the other side of the highway. And for that I think I'm going to make a curve that will connect directly to this road that will be the final road, or the road to the northern part of the layout. And for that I want to make sure the road is symmetrical as possible. So the distance over here has a cost of 360, and I can replicate that right about over here. Perfect. And that will allow us to create a perfectly symmetrical curve that is a quarter of a circle. So if I just come here now, there we go. Perfect. We can now move on to the southern part of this layout, and for that I can simply build a road over here, okay? And I know it will connect over here. I'm gonna have some problems with this, except if I do this. Okay. Perfect. Now, I don't want to have any intersections in this arterial because this is a place where people get off the highway and we'll have quite a volume of traffic, I believe. So I'm not gonna make any intersections. What I am going to do, however, is an overpass that allows people to cross from this part of the layout to this part of the layout. And I'm gonna do one right about over here. Okay, right here. And I know that I'm not gonna have the chance to zone it back down, and I'm gonna use another one over here. Now I'm gonna need to find another way of connecting them, and unfortunately I cannot connect directly here. What I can do, however, is come all the way over here and perhaps make a small little bridge. Let's see if I can do this. Yeah, there you go. I actually like how this looks, so let's keep it. I am taking out a bit of zoning, but I think that will be fine. And let's just repeat the same on the other side. And oh. There we go. I got scared for the moment. And of course, the last segment of road would be the one to cause me troubles, as I can go down. That's probably because of some elevation that might be occurring with the terrain, but I'll need to find another way to make the overpass. Okay, there we go. That works out as well. And I can even use these blank spots over here next to the junctions to place some parks and maximize the zoning space. But for now, let's just finish up the zoning of the layout. Not zoning, but the road placement of the layout. And we're gonna do that as quick as possible. And there you go. Northern part of the layout is now complete. Really like it. I think it turned out quite well. Let's just see what's happening to our city. We're having quite some problems with deathways. That's because I have all the cemeteries emptying. Perhaps I can unempty them for the time being and have them collect the dead bodies, because this is piling up and I don't like it. So yeah, let's just do that. And this was the third one that was full. There we go. And we're also having some problems with trash. I really need to figure out the trash layout. And I know that I've said on previous episodes that I was going to place the recycling centers on another location, and I think I'm gonna do it on this part of the island, right next to this, this very interesting structure that we have over here. I could delete it, but I think I'm gonna keep it as a monument. And I'll put the trash facilities over here that will pretty much connect to the city via this highway. I think that's the best option that we have, because then we'll have a nice coverage from both corners of the city. Okay guys, and here's a shot of the city during the nighttime. It's been a while since we've had one of these. So I just wanted to give you guys an update of how the city looks like during the nighttime. It looks really buzzing with all the lights and all the action going on. I especially enjoy the area near the park. Yeah, it's still working out as intended, with a lot of people coming to the park time during the night, and you can even see the fireworks coming out of the main gate. Pretty awesome. And yeah, let's just check out other areas. This is pretty much the new district that we have built. I think it looks amazing. You can also take a look at the downtown area, where we have the Blimp stop and also the coastal leisure area. I think it looks amazing. Look at that, look at this shot. But what I wanted to show you was actually the leisure island. And this is actually my first time looking at this during the nighttime as well. So, and I really like how this part of the island is red due to the leisure buildings. And you got the high density right in the middle. I think it looks pretty awesome. And the highway looks majestic, this interchange. I really like how it turned out to be. And finally we got the airport, which is also working out during the nighttime. And I'm really glad that these buildings that I took from the workshop also have incorporated lights. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And this is looking amazing. Now that we are on this area, there's something that I want to work on. Some people have recommended, and oh yeah, and look at our budget during the nighttime. This is chaotic. But anyway, some people suggested that in order to raise the high density of these buildings and get it to almost the same height as this building over here, the Grand Mall, I could help out by zoning some offices. And I think that's a wonderful idea, especially because it's a airport. So yeah, I could mix up some offices for sure. So let's just pick some random locations to put those offices. Perhaps one here. And I think that's going to be enough. Now we just need to give it some time and let everything grow and adjust. Before wrapping up this episode, there are a few things I want to address. The first one is this area over here, the Oppression Office Park, or the Justice Park, which is its official name. And some episodes ago I have placed these parkway entrances, and we've seen that they are pretty much not working because people are avoiding paying the ticket price, yeah, as you've seen this person over here, by not going through the main gate and entering through the outside. Now, I'm not sure if this affects ticket price as well, but just to be safe, I am gonna place them in this area, and this one as well. And now we can rebuild the pathways. Alright, perfect. Now people have no choice but to get into the park by going through the main gate, because there's no pathway connecting to the main network of the park. There's also another issue going on with the city that I would like to address. If I go to the population tab, we can see that unemployment is sitting at 4%, which is pretty cool. That's pretty low actually. But if you look at the amount of jobs available, we can see that we have over 37,000 jobs that people can take. And I'm not sure exactly why this is happening, but I'm quite confident it's because we have a lot of industry flowing around our city, and most of the population is educated, so they do not want to work in factories. If I come to this tab, we can see that we have a lot of factories over here and also some factories over here as well. And I've even remember having an issue with the no workers tab on this part of the layout. So one way that we can use to address that in the future is to create a district mainly of residential, and we can apply the schools out policy that forces people to not go to school and work in the existing factories. So that could be a very good solution for this problem. Well, it's not really a problem, it's mostly an issue. And initially I was thinking about zoning that residential district right about over here, right next to the factories. But given the fact that this area is so crowded with traffic, I don't think that will be a very good idea. So I think I'm gonna let this area sit and build a district on another part of the city. Something else that I can do is actually dezone some industrial, and I can even do that right now. So yeah, let's see, what is the lowest evolved industry? It's actually these steps. I want to keep industry that is level 3, so I am gonna dezone these buildings. That will pretty much take care of the oversupply of jobs that we currently have, or at least some of it. But I'm still going to zone this schools out residential district somewhere along the city. And this area really needs some work with traffic. And I wonder what will happen if I just delete this road segment. Will that help out with traffic? Let's find out. Okay, I've converted it into a one-way heading to this avenue, and it turns out it got way better. Perfect. Now that we are working on the industrial layout, perhaps this is a good chance to test something out. If you have been following me for a while, you remember me building this cargo hub with the 2 train stations, or the 2 cargo terminals. And the reason I've done this was pretty much simple. So this cargo terminal is the only cargo station in the city that is connected to outside of the region and is mainly used for exportation and import as well. And this station over here has the function of serving city locally, so it is the station that serves the commerce around the city. Commercial buildings in the city wanted to import some products, they would have to do so via this station. Goods would be brought from outside the city to this cargo station. Then these goods would be exported with trucks, which would come through this road, connect to this station, which would then export them to the local commerce and feed the local economy. The reason I've done this when I was planning out this layout was because I was expecting a lot of train activity. So much activity that if we only had one station that was connected to the outside city and also to the local part of the city, we would have a lot of train congestions. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. We actually have very few trains coming in and out of the city. So one of the things that I think we can try out is disable this station and connect this one to the local train layout and see what happens. If it doesn't work out, I will simply delete the connections and I will re-enable this station. So that's what I'm gonna try out right now. I'm gonna pause the simulation. I am gonna disable this station and I am going to make some connections around the city. So I think I'm gonna do it like this. Let me see if I can do this real quick. Make a quick connection here and we can now make a connection to the layout from here and see how it works out. So now shops can import goods from outside the city that will use this train track. This is a train track that's connected to the outside region, by the way. They can come through here, go straight ahead and connect to the layout. And if they want to connect to this cargo station, they can simply do so by using this bypass over here. So yeah, let's just resume and see how it works. This will probably take some time to adjust, but we can wait for it. Yeah, I think we'll be okay for now. But anyway guys, that's gonna be it for today. On the next episode we are going to continue the development of this part of town and we are going to start building the road layout of this western part of the city. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you have enjoyed. If you want to follow the development of this series, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already and also click the bell icon to get notified every time I post a new video. Once again, thank you so much for watching and as always, have fun!